Why, hello there! May 25th is National Tap Dance Day, and if you did not know what tap dance is, I'm sorry you haven't experienced much of life yet. So let me give a brief history of tap dance. Tap dance originated long ago with a mixture of dances. Some of the dance styles were that of Europe, being jigs and clog dancing, mixed with West African sacred and secular step dances. This combination happened around the poor urban environments where a whole slew of cultures lived right next to each other in crowded areas. This helped create early forms of tap dancing that were showcased in the mid-1800s in something called minstrel shows. Now, at the time, minstrel shows were shows that were based heavily on racial stereotypes, which included a lot of blackface. I mean, a lot. Yes, I know, people were mean back then, but despite those shows, what did come along was the popularity of tap, and when the minstrel shows died out, tap thrived through vaudeville, which had some racial stereotypes as well. Look, history is full of people hating on each other, you can't change that. But this is where tap really began to thrive, where performers of all colors could show off their dancing style. One performer, though, stood out from all the rest, and that man was Bill Robinson, aka Mr. Bojangles. Bill Robinson was born May 25th, 1878. Oh, does May 25th sound familiar to you? It should, because it's National Tap Dancing Day, which was chosen to be celebrated on Bill Robinson's birthday for how great of a tap dancer he was. So let us talk about the man. Bill Robinson's parents died when he was around the age of 5, leaving him and his brother to be raised by their grandmother. Robinson had to work at an early age, doing street performing for money in front of beer gardens and theaters. This caught the eye of the promoters, who offered him a job as a pickaninny in some minstrel shows. Now, the term pickaninny was a term for a black child working on the side stage of minstrel shows. It's now deemed offensive, so it should not be really said unless talking about historical topics. These minstrel shows were most likely how he learned how to tap dance. Years later, by 1900, Robinson decided to enter a dance competition where he won it, winning against a man called Harry Swinton, who was considered one of the best dancers of his day. Winning that competition had Robinson's popularity shoot right up, as he was able to work in numerous traveling shows, troops, and even had partners to work with. He became so popular that he was even able to become the first solo black act in vaudeville, with of course some help from his manager. Vaudeville had something called the two-color rule, which made it so that no black entertainer could have a solo act. With such popularity, Robinson was able to work in Broadway, films, and radio, in which his most famous dance, the stair dance, was born. Now, many credit him as inventing the stair dance, though some can dispute it, but it was made so popular by him, they just gave the credit to him. I mean, they even called his type of tap dancing the up-on-the-toe style of tap, since it wasn't always flat-footed like many other people. Robinson even gave support to other performers of the time, like Lena Horne, Eleanor Powell, the Nicholas brothers, Sammy Davis Jr., and Fred Astaire. Some of these dancers liked Robinson so much they even made tributes to the man, like the famous shadow dance from Fred Astaire's Swing Time movie. Yes, he's in blackface, it was a different time period. Needless to say, the man was popular, and at that time when it was so hard for black entertainers, he was able to chip down the color barrier a bit, though never as much as he wanted. For example, when he danced with Shirley and held her hand, it was considered such a controversy that some of the scenes were cut out for the southern states, because the South just can't get over anything. I can go on about the man who credits himself for coming up with the word copacetic, but I think you get the idea. The man was pretty swell and achieved a lot in the time of segregation. So, since it's National Tap Dance Day, I would like some of you to take some of the time of your day to look up Bill Robinson, be it a documentary or one of his dance routines, because really there was no one like Bill Bojangles Robinson.